In the depth of the mines, the dwarves mine for gold. It gets picked up by the dwarves, but chased away by the orcs. After a wild chase, with lots of swings left and right, up and down, the dwarves duck down and make their way back to the base. The base in Dwarven Mine Rally. The orcs chase the dwarves all the way to their base, wrapping around the Dwarven forge. It is crazy to what extent these orcs are willing to go. Hard-working dwarves here smith and forge new weapons and weaponry to fight the bastard orcs. In the previous episode we built the orc camp, and in this episode we will be building the Dwarven fortress as well as this awesome forge with dwarves working fully animated. It is going to be insane. So stick around. This new episode of Dwarven Mine Rally 2 is going to be epic.
Oh my god, Book! This intro was amazing! So excited!
Nice.
So mature. Once again, farts. It's amazing. I removed the track that we built in the last episode and started building on a little bit more track. I wanted there to be some track on the Dwarven side. In the previous episode we built a little bit of track on the Orc side. And this episode we're gonna build on the Dwarven side. So as you can see, I brought the coaster down and it's going underneath the exit of the Dwarven coaster. Pretty cool so far. I wanted to lay on top the other coaster, so they're obviously chasing each other. And then with a big tall right bend, we're gonna make our way back underneath the station. That's the idea. And then rush under there. I've really spent a lot of time on trying to align these coasters together, which is really tricky and hard. I have mad respect for Xaphor when he built the original coaster, trying to align them so perfectly the way he did. It's really difficult. But it worked out fine, and this is the end result of the coaster building section. I did build a little bit more track, but it was simply a right-hander and then another chain lift. In the original Dwarven Mine Ready, Xaphor had 3 chain lifts in total to keep the cars in motion, and because we're working with such a big blueprint, I decided to put another chain lift in just so that it can enter the last section with enough speed so that the coaster cars can go back to the station. The coaster is already incredibly long, and this is probably going to be an 8K blueprint. The first 8K blueprint I've ever made. Pretty cool. So, let's start building the Dwarven fortress. The hardest thing by far is actually starting on a blank canvas. I currently have an empty coaster station that needs theming desperately, because currently it's such an eyesore. I started laying down these floor pieces to cover the ugly ass grey looking station that we have to start with. It's so much nicer just having a stone floor. I decided to go with marble beams and I changed them a little bit grey. The overall look of the Dwarven build was going to be grey, and I wanted to make a little balcony, obviously supported by these marble beams. And then I wanted it to be a little bit crumbled down, but I struggled finding pieces, so I just avoided it for now, but you'll see later on what I mean. I really wanted part of this temple to be looking like it was crumbled down a little bit, like it's taken some damage over the years. So I'm using this technique that I developed making temple dash, and these wall pieces with the rocks, I rotate them and put them on the edges, and it makes it look like it's all crumbled and broken down. Quite like the look. Very nice. This is what we have so far. Oh, so good. I rerouted the exit a little bit because I had this spiral looking section, but I really wanted it to be square because then it was easier to build with and I could make a nice bridge for this coaster to go underneath. So yeah, I did that. And then afterwards I decided that I didn't want these brown looking walls anymore. So I removed them and I replaced them with a little bit nicer walls. The grey ones, marble walls. And that was gonna be what my building was gonna look like. After placing down a couple more of these rubble looking walls, I was really happy with the way that this outside section was looking. Although the building doesn't have any structure as of yet, but that will come later on. I promise it will look much better. I also worked a little bit on this bathing. I really wanted the bathing to go underneath as well, just so that you can have another interaction with the coaster. Pretty cool, very happy with it. This is the end of the build. Yeah. Now that I've decided what type of stone I'm going to use for the Dwarven fortress, I could finally start theming and building the support for this exit, of course. Book! You don't even know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. It's just crazy times. So yeah, I just simply fill in all the spots and chuck wall pieces down. Super exciting. Not very exciting, I'm sorry.
I'm not learning anything. This is fucking boring.
Hey, watch your language. Go to your room.
But Book, I've been here this whole...
No! Go to your room. Oh my god, stupid child. You guys watching this probably like, why do you always do this crazy high-pitched voice? Well, the reason I am doing that is it gives me someone to have a conversation with. In all reality, when I'm sitting here doing this editing, I'm just having a conversation and talking to myself, and it's really boring. So I created this high-pitched voice character. I don't even know who it is. I think it needs a name. Let me know down below if you got a name for my high-pitched book character. We can give it a name, and then we can use it as entertainment, and we can kick it and punch it, and we can say nasty things to it. It'll be fun. Alright, enough banter. Here is the snap build of this exit section. I started working on a little bit more building for this Dwarven fortress. I put down some flooring underneath the station and brought the coaster tracks up a little bit. I then also introduced some flooring underneath the pathing here. And after that, I polished this pathing section a little bit by placing down some wall and closing all the gaps. This way the coaster had a clear line through underneath the pathing. Pretty good. After that, I placed down some beams and supported the pathing a little bit more using these marble columns. This way it integrates very nicely with the building that we have so far, and it's just looking really nice. Yeah, was very happy with it. Whoa, that was very high-pitched voice.
Yeah, very high-pitched. I'm sorry, I'll behave.
Okay, you can stay around if you want.
Yay, happy times.
I then started placing down some walls to close this coaster station section a little bit nicer. And after that, it was finally time to erect the... Oh, what's wrong with me? And then it was time to raise the Dwarven fortress from the ground, after having built a solid foundation for the fortress. And obviously also chuck on the roof. You don't want to be stepping in your coaster and it's raining and you're getting soaked. I can't think of anything worse. In this next section I really don't do a whole lot other than placing down some pillars and fixing up the wall and also extending the outside a little bit just to lay down some track from the back side of the entrance so that I can connect the coaster to it easy. So without wasting too much of your precious time, I already really appreciate you guys checking out this video. I'm just gonna skip this section because it really is nothing to it. I spent a little bit of time on dwarfifying the fortress by having these offset pillars that you can see here with a little angle to it at the top. Quite nice. I put that all over the place and it made the building look a lot more dwarfish than it was before. I then put another layer of walls on top and then applied the same type of pillars that I just showed you. And that way I dwarfy the top section as well. Dwarfy. I think I just made that up. New world in the alphabet. What? Alphabet are letters. I just said a word. Makes no sense. I'm rambling on. What the hell? Okay. It's time to build on this top section of the tower. We're almost reaching the top of the building. Placing down some of these marble looking beams. And then I put a top on it. After that I placed down some beams to outline the area where the coaster was going to drop down towards the forge. Which doesn't exist yet, but it will exist soon. We'll be building it very, very soon, so stick around. You're gonna love it. I then placed down again some more of these beams. This whole place is gonna be beamed. Beam to space. Pew! Can someone enlarge this video, please? Can't see anything. Holy crap! That's a bit too much. Thank you. Let's continue. Place down some beams. And some more beams. And some more beams. And also some beams. And some beams. And some archers for a change. I then did some quality research into Dwarven forges and I found this image. And this was going to be inspiration or pretty much a recreation of Dwarven forge I'm going to build in Dwarven Mine Rally 2. I loved the shape and the items around it from the drawing. I wanted to recreate this as well in the game and have it all interactive. Dwarves building and working at the forge. So yeah, that was kind of the inspiration I drew from, and it's really happy with what it looks like eventually. So yeah, I'm super excited with the shape and how it turned out. I also obviously need to come up with a way of how to make lava or like coal and stuff. How to find out how to find a way how to put that in the forge. That was difficult, holy crap. Obviously there's no lava panels or anything like that, so I had to come up with my own technique, but I think I found something that works. But this is the snap build for now. Very snap, much built. So build the snap, snappity build, floopity floop. And then you build the flap floop and the floopity floop. What? I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know either, but it's kind of crazy. I know. Crazy book. The forge that I'm building here has two sides and can be operated from both the back and the front side. Front side has an interaction with the coaster and the back side has an interaction with the guests. There's gonna be some pathing around it and guests can see the dwarves at work smithing and forging new weapons. So pretty epic, I reckon. So So yeah, here you see me just building the sides of the forge and putting all the pieces together and making sure it all looks unified and whole and that it all makes sense. I put these beams everywhere. I use these beams quite a lot in this Dwarven build so far. But I'm just decorating the forge. And then I put some tiles on the sides here, just on top of the forge where the lava is gonna be in. Lava, I don't know, melted rock, moldy rock. Oh no, that's terrible. As you can see me here playing around with the water panel and seeing if it looks a little bit like lava, but I'm not quite happy with what it looks like, so I came up with a different way. I placed down dark colored rocks and then I sunk in some really bright red looking colors, and this way it looks a little bit like lava and it looks so much better than the water panel. I mean, who thought that that would be a good idea? What an idiot. Crazy book. Oh my god. And then I sunk in some flamethrowers, as you can see here. And yeah, it brings it all together and it looks really nice. I think I'm quite happy with this. This is the snap build. I wasn't quite happy on how the forge was interacting with the coaster, so I moved it a little bit and worked a little bit more on the chimney, just so that I could interact, or have the coaster interact better with the forge. And this way, when you approach the forge, it looks a lot nicer, and you feel like you're actually, you know, the forge is designed around the coaster and not the other way around. Much better. I then brought out some of the pathing and brought it around to the outside of the forge, as you can see here, just so that you can interact with the forge from the other side as well as guests. This way you can both see it from the coaster and as from the guests. And then I placed down some rocks just to fix the mess that I made. And this is the snap build. After that, I worked on a Dwarven logo that would be going in front, at the front of the forge. And then slowly but surely, the pieces come together and then an emblem was born. I used the tiny little columns to make a structure and then used different colors to make the whole emblem. Quite happy with the end result. And then it was time to start working on the impossible project, making this fan flapper, whatever it's called, forge flapper. I call it the forge flapper. I'm making the forge flapper. Obviously, because it was me, it needed to be fully animated and operated by a dwarf. How the hell was I going to animate this thing? It needs to compress together and then have fabric in between, but there's no real fabric pieces. It was a real nightmare, but I found these shop covers that worked quite well. So I just installed some of these. And then I had the bloody nightmare job on animating this thing. That was by far the most painful thing I have ever made. It is incredibly difficult to animate this thingy. Even though it looks very simple, it's just selecting the pieces and then together animating it with the dwarf on top. When the dwarf goes down, that the thing gets compressed, and when it comes back up, that it's not compressed and don't go straight through the dwarf. And oh, it just gave me a massive migraine attack. Spontaneous migrainous combustion. Incredible, pretty shit. Obviously, you can jump on one of these forge flappers, but it also obviously needs to do something. So, when the dwarf jumps on top, as you can see just before, the flames increase and then it starts spitting out flames at the top. And as the coaster comes by, the dwarf starts jumping on it and flames erupt from the top just as you pass it. Crazy times, crazy forts, everything is crazy. Oh my god, so many things, what the hell. Sorry. I decided to stain the top of the forge with coal looking things pretty much just rocks that I sunk in. It just makes it look like it's been used and flames have been coming out the top for quite some time. It was then time to start on the next animation. This was gonna be a dwarf hitting an anvil with a hammer and then smithing the blades, the swords, with sparks coming off. And these new pieces from the toy shop, whatever it's called, you can increase them. And you can see you've got a really cool hammer. So just put down a anvil and then put a sword on top and then have it get animated, and it looks really cool. I had one more animation piece to make, but before I start on that, I decided to put in flooring first and bring the whole thing together. Quite nice. This is the snap build of the floor and the floopy floop scooby doo doo. What? I don't know what I'm saying. I forgot to give the dwarf a bloody sword to smith. Crazy times. Oh my lord. God, lord, same thing. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not religious, but I say oh my god and oh my lord. Oh my, crazy times. I'm all over that.
Bring back the footage.
What the hell? Who the hell was that? Crazy times. Anyway, after having done that, I created this smithing, sharpening dwarf that sharpens the swords. Not very excited, so we'll just go on to the next thing. I also built this tool rack, and it was gonna be full with swords and axes and all sorts of stuff that the dwarves have made. And then lastly, I placed down some dirt spots for coal that have spilled out of the forge on the ground and make the whole place, bring it all together in one big cohesive smithing forgy thingy. Yeah. I also placed down some ambient speaker, but I didn't record that. I did a little bit more work on making sure that the outside looks very nice. So I'm putting down these beams on top of the wall where the guests walk around the forge, just so that it looks a little bit nicer. I then worked on this really tricky area here behind the Dwarven fortress. We have the queue going there underneath the coaster and going up, but above we have coaster track that's coming from the front of the build, you know, where they like swirl around and then make a right hand turn towards the orc place. I needed to find a way how to incorporate all of the terrain together, and that was so incredibly tricky, but I think I managed to find a way. I ended up building some kind of platform on which the queue was laying, and then I rerouted the queue a little bit and redid it just so that it fits on the platform and fits with the terrain that I was working on. Just to show you the complexity of this section, you got coaster track here coming from the station, you got a queue going under here, then you've got another piece of track coming here from underneath the station, then you've got track on top of there, and then you've got that looping section from the start right here. There's so much to it, and oh, it was so difficult to come up with a way how to integrate this. But I think I did good. It's so tricky how to explain what rock goes where. Honestly, it's so complicated. So I think I'll just show you guys in the after talk that we normally do afterwards. So I'll show you guys just the snap builds of this, and then you get to see the rock section later on as it's completed. I built this fence on top of the right hand corner that you can see up there, and I animated it so it's kind of like waggling up and down as if it's broken off from the top, and when you come past it just looks really cool. I then also installed some mining dwarfs. They just hack away as the coaster flies by, picking up the gold from the mine, and the dwarfs are just really busy here mining. So yeah. And also install some gold in the mine Otherwise, there's nothing to mine. That makes sense. I pretty much colored anvils yellow and then sunk them in the terrain. We don't have any golden items currently in the game, so I'm just using these anvils that I've just changed color into gold. It looks pretty good and quite convincing. I then also obviously put in these wooden supports just before. I found the right color and connected them all together with beams, just so that it's a little bit more realistic and supportive. And then also place down a ladder from the station upwards. And then put some clutter around the area. Some boxes, some dynamite, and all sorts of other stuff. Just to bring the whole thing together. And then when you brush past with the coaster, it will look really cool with all these items laying around. It's really come together. I'm very happy with the end result. So here's the last snap build. And let's jump in and see what we have. Hey! Woo! Hey! Dus. Look at it! Oh my god! Oh, it's so epic. There goes the coaster. Woo! Sorry. Oh my god, what am I doing? I crashed the game. What? Oh, there we are. Whoa! Crazy stuff. Look at this. I am so happy with how this turned out. Look at this guy. But every time he hits the sword, there's like sparks coming off and a sound. And this guy, sparks coming out of here. And then you got this bumpy guy. Look at him. Imagine that. You'll be so tired after the day. I really struggled animating this thing. You see his feet disappear into the thingy on the second jump, but that's quite alright. I polished it as much as I could. It's all looking a lot, pretty happy with it. And this side, these dwarves get triggered when the coaster comes by, so I'm quite happy with that. So yeah. So here comes the coasters. Look at them. Go over it. Look at the forge. They're almost touching each other and then they're rushing back into there. Oh, I'm so happy with how this turned out. And obviously we also spent some time on building this. And spent some time on the queue. Well, this is like the exit. You can go under here as well. It's not fully themed yet, obviously. You can go up here and like, you know, this is the exit. Pretty good. And then it's so cool how the coaster comes up the side here. And this is the Dwarven castle, which I still need to theme. But I built it there just so I could integrate it with the terrain. Here goes the coaster again on the side. Ready to go down into the mines and beat the orcs. But I really wanted to show you guys this section. Look how intricate it is. So many levels. You got here level and here and here. You got some stuff here and then broken down. And then there's more tracks here. And then some storage. And we got this like thing that's held up by a rope. It's attached to here. Yeah, I'm super happy. Obviously, still need to finish the queue. And this section, I need to I need to get rid of the curb from this pathing and this flickering. Oh, and here comes the coaster. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool how it goes through here. We got the dwarves hacking away. This guy is shoveling dirt in your face. And then here is the queue as well. It comes through the mine a little bit. They're just hacking. He's leaning on a rock. He's got sore knees, I guess. Yeah, pretty cool. Super happy. And look at this fence. It's just like dangling because it's broken off from this section, which is, you know, I really like how this is all integrated as well. So yeah, this is like the Dwarven area. Very cool. And then we got the Orc area on the other side, of course. Got all sorts of tools and stuff that I've used so far, little huts. I'll eventually, once the blueprint's done, I'll make a separate themed pack for Dwarves and Orcs. And you're free to download it from the shop and use it. Makes like a little prop pack like I've done with my other roller coasters and my other blueprints. So yeah, the blueprint's getting pretty big and the tracks are all over the place, super well. It's very intricate, which I'm very happy about. What the hell is going on? Oh, I hate this daily report. Wonder if I can turn it off. Maybe I'll find out one day. So we built this whole section here, and the last episode we built the Orc section, and this time we built the Dwarven section and the forge. So I guess we go and jump in the Dwarven coaster. It's just about to leave. So yeah, let's go and have a cruise on this thingy. And yeah, super excited. I'm so happy with how it turned out so far. So cool, so cool, so cool. I'll fast forward this, shall I? Go down. Go here. And then we go through the mine area here. Look at that. It's so cool how it's, you know, I find it really cool and nicely interactive. And then we hang on the bottom of the rocks. And here we got all these carts. Very cool. And this is such a cool section as well. And we hop down and go up. Go this way. Under the Orc station, and we rush out and we get a really cool interaction there. It's so cool. So the first section we've been behind the coaster most of the time, and in this section we're going in front of the coaster. And I obviously have to lower the water level there a little bit. I was thinking of maybe making a little waterfall or something and have it fill up the water there as you pass through, like have the water level increase. That would be cool. Here we go to the forge. Whee! So cool. And we rush onto the underneath, and then we swing around. Really cool. Oh yeah, I'm so happy with this. And now we just go up there. Not gonna bother showing that. And now we also go and check out the Orc camp. Oh, I just walked through the exit, of course I did. Let's jump on this thing, shall we? So this is the Orc coaster. I have to maybe like theme the roller coaster a little bit. Make it the Orc one a bit more greeny and the Dwarven one like more steel colored with woody textures. Something like that. Still lots to do. I'll just fast forward this. I think the Dwarven coaster is my favorite so far. There we go. So the first section we're in front of the coaster, and in the last section we're behind the other coaster. The waterfall section here. So here we go in front of the other coaster. And up here, and we've got a little like wavy thingy. Look at that. And down we go. Oh, I'm so happy with the layout so far. And I know most people are like, most roller coasters don't have multiple chain lifts. This one does, because I wanted it to be a big, entertaining roller coaster like Xaphor's Dwarven Mine Rally. That was a very long roller coaster and very intricate, and he had multiple chain lifts on there as well. So I'm just going with a similar vibe, which is alright. You got the fire. They're almost kissing. Whee! And swinging around. Oh, it's so cool. And then we go down. And that was it, really. Yeah, I think I've showed everything. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I might actually end up changing this a little bit to like fit more the rocky style, because currently it's quite stony. And this is all rock, and this is wood. But I guess it's like 3 different sections. Like you got the stone, and then you've got the wood, and then you've got the marble, temple-y kind of looking structures. So I guess it's okay, but obviously once it's all blended in, it will work a lot better. I've not put a lot of rocks down here, but it will come. So yeah, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Your time is precious, so I'm gonna hop off here and thank you all spending your time on watching my content. Really appreciate every single one of you, and I hope to see you all in the next video, in which we will continue this build. Or the next video will be Boogie Woogie Wonderland. I don't know, I've not made up my mind yet. Let's check this out. Look at that. So cool. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I'm all over the place today. Okay, bye!